Are you thinking of homeschooling? Well, you are already doing it. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and good communication all over the world. In fact, I teach at some of the leading homeschool conferences in the world. They have me come there to talk about relationships and communication, but I homeschooled all of my children all the way. And if there is something I know, it's homeschool. So in this video, we're talking about how to make a great homeschool doing what you're already doing. Whether you homeschool or not is not really what makes a good homeschooler. Your child could be going to a public school, a private school, a charter school, or other, and you are still a homeschool parent if you recognize it. I remember one of the first homeschooling conferences I went to way back in the year 2000, and the speaker said, every single parent is a homeschooler. It's just the ones that recognize that are lucky. Whoa, what a truth. What a shock. She was right. I knew it because before I even started to homeschool, I already was teaching my child their letters. I already was working with them, teaching them songs, memorizing things, teaching them to read, and I hadn't even decided that I was going to homeschool yet. Every parent is a homeschooler. You teach your children what it means to live an adult life, to live a fulfilled life. You show them what makes life good. So if you are showing them scanning on your phone all the time, or clicking at the TV, or if you are constantly disconnected from the family, engaged in your own things, then you are showing them that that's what's most important. They will pay attention. And the older they get, the more they will want to do those things too. But if you show them that family time comes first, that communication is important, that everyone should always be engaged in good learning pursuits for the rest of their lives, and that we should keep distractions to a minimum, then you are teaching them what life is all about and pointing them in a really good direction at the same time. So let's talk about how to be homeschool-minded even if you're not homeschooling your child in the literal sense. A parent that is homeschool-minded sees what they're doing in their parenting and daily interactions with their child in a different way. They look at those interactions with a broader and maybe even deeper lens all at the same time. So they see everything they do as part of the education for the child. I think it's really easy for parents to compartmentalize their lives, to say, well, this is chores, this is dinner, this is extracurricular activities and car time, this is school, and this is our family time. But a homeschool parent makes everything the family time. You're in the car? Well, then listen to something that matters. Maybe it's an audio book, or we listened to Your Story Hour all of the time when we were driving around, so that we could learn about world figures and good virtues and character traits that we wanted the children to develop. If we are going to be working as a family and doing chores, why not do it together? Why not learn to have a good work ethic as a group? Sure, they can learn to do chores by themselves too, but why not create a culture where we work together as a family as well? And what about our free time? What if our free time was together time and family time? What if people looked forward to doing things with their siblings and their parents just as much, if not more, than they look forward to doing things with same age peers? It actually is possible. My children were best friends with each other. That doesn't mean that they didn't have friends. They did. They had plenty of friends, some of my children more than others, but they still spent the majority of their time playing with each other. And when they had friends that would come over, they automatically included the siblings in the playtime as well, because they had a full view of family life, which included every aspect of their lives, even their social lives. So here's some tips for how to be homeschool-minded, no matter if you're homeschooling or not. The way you spend your time matters. Make sure that you give the family enough time together. If you're going all of the time, you may be sacrificing some of that wonderful learning time that comes from that homeschool-mindedness. I have so much information on this channel related to homeschooling. I even have a whole website about homeschooling where all the content on it, the videos and trainings, are free. It's called heartofhomeschool.net. So you can definitely look up more information there, especially related to cool ideas for how to schedule your homeschool day and how to spend time with the family. Speaking of principles of homeschooling, conversation is your biggest tool. Homeschool parents know this. What you talk about is usually what sticks most. Discussion is like a test. Discussion is like the best assignment you'll ever get. Have discussion about what you're reading and the other discussions that you're hearing around you. So when you have a topic that you're studying, make sure you bring in lots of discussion. Now, if your child is going somewhere else to school, what do? Start discussing what they're learning at the school. Be involved in it. Also, discuss other things that there's no way they are teaching at the school the way you want them taught. Every parent has their list of those things. Discuss. That will make a big difference. The next tip is plan more things to do together. So take your weekly schedule and say, on this day, we will have a family activity. We will go ice skating or we will go hiking. Plan something that you will do always on a certain time together. Give yourself a priority for family in your schedule. We schedule so many things. We take them so many places, but when it comes to family time, we don't deliberately put it on the schedule. That is actually too bad because our children need to see how important that family time is. When you're scheduling more things to do together, that will open up more conversation for your family just naturally. You've got to be having experiences. The family is the first social unit of society. When a person is born, their social includes their family. They learn how to be a social person in their family. One thing that we need to recognize is how vital the social training is that happens in the home. Many people assume that their child will get the social training they need by going somewhere else, by being with friends or out on the playground or in the school. Some social interactions definitely happen at those places, but the training might not be what you want. So if you want your child to succeed socially, make sure that you see the family and the home as the best social training ground and deliberately do social training. A purposeful parent knows that there are critical conversations that children need to have with their parents, and that those conversations best happen before somebody else starts the conversation with the child. We're talking about sensitive topics here. Abuse, sex things, habits, social training, like I already mentioned. Those are more sensitive topics. Things related to current events, political ideas, beliefs, and virtues. Things that we have faith in. Those are all things that really are in the parent's sphere. The parent needs to address those things before the child has conversations about those topics with other people, if possible. Now, I know we don't always hit our timing perfectly, and sometimes somebody beats us to the punch. But try to think in terms of proactively having really good conversations, really crucial, sensitive conversations with your children before they start interacting about those topics with other people. If you are the primary authority, then you will be the lead educator on everything. A good homeschool parent also is deliberate. They decide on purpose what to talk about with their child. They decide on purpose how to interact, how much playtime they're going to have, how much family time they're going to have. A deliberate parent is usually the one who has the greatest impact on the heart and mind of their child. So if you are planning on having that homeschool mindset, whether your child goes to school or not, you will want to deliberately create a culture of good discussion and deliberate connection. Creating a deliberate family culture means that everyone knows who each other is, how to handle problems with each other, how to communicate with each other. They know that they can trust the people around them because they know how to talk with those people. The way that you talk about problems and problem solve together as a group will make a difference on whether your child listens to you about other things. If they don't feel like they can trust you in a moment when something's gone wrong, how can they know they trust your judgment on everything else? If you lose control on some things when someone didn't get their chore done or maybe they lied to you, you go out of control on that thing, how can they trust to tell you some other thought that they have, maybe a really sensitive thought that they might be thinking? You need to establish trust by making sure that you are a calm person to communicate with. In order to do that, you might need a few more skills. This whole channel is dedicated to helping you understand the principles and skills of self-government that you need to heal your family relationships. But there is one video on here that I hope everybody sees, because it is definitely the overview to some of those skills and principles that you'll need. It's called The Not So Known Secret to Parenting Success. It's a full-length class that will give you an overview to self-government so that you can start down that self-government road today. Click on the link to that video now. I'll see you there.